The Warriors have internally discussed the idea of trading for Damian Lillard. That's what's coming up on today's show. But first, make sure you turn on those notifications. Therefore, anytime we push out a video like this one, you will be notified. For instance, Lakers Report has more than 36,000 subscribers. About 26% of those subscribers have their noties turned on. Warriors today, we got work to do, so hit that bell icon and turn on those noties. Welcome into Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. According to The Athletic's Anthony Slater, the Warriors have had internal discussions and have kicked the tires about a Damian Lillard trade, bringing him to the Bay. So let's explore that further. So basically what The Athletic did, they brought together beat reporters who covered the Sixers, the Knicks, and the Warriors, and they had a discussion on which teams could offer the best trade package for Dame. Anthony Slater not only laid out the Warriors' best deal that the Golden State Warriors could put out on the table, but went on to report that the Warriors have had internal discussions about trying to make a trade for Dame. Here's what Anthony Slater had to say in that article. Would the Warriors get involved? Yes. They'd make a call and have already had internal discussions about the idea, as I'm sure most contenders have, considering the rising smoke out of Portland. If the Blazers decide to trade Lillard, a complete rebuild seems like the wisest path, and there aren't many better rebuilding trade packages dangling out there right now than James Wiseman, the 7th and 14th picks in the upcoming draft, plus more future firsts attached to the Andrew Wiggins as a salary match filler. Andrew Wiggins set to make a lot of money. You'd have to put him in a trade, whether it be a team-for-team swap or a three-team deal, in order to bring Dame's contract into Golden State. So here's what that trade would look like simplified for you. Warriors get Damian Lillard. Blazers get back James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 7th and 14th pick, both of those selections in the lottery, in this month's draft, as well as future first-round picks. So would you make this deal if you're Bob Myers? Get your votes in the comment section down below. Type Y for yes or type N for no as we explore this further. I have a few questions about it. Would it make sense to bring Damian Lillard onto the Warriors roster when you already have Steph Curry, who's a ball-dominant guard, and you know that saying out there? There's only one ball to go around. I'm not sure about the fit between Curry and Lillard, but at the end of the day, I think you team these two studs up and you just find a way to make it work. Of course, Steph is going to have to make sacrifices. Lillard would also have to make sacrifices, and they're not going to have the volume of shots that they would have if they're just the sole options running an offense, but you just find a way to make it work at the end of the day. Why is that? Because a trio shooting the basketball of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Damian Lillard would be absolutely lights out. Defensively, though, it wouldn't be great. Let's be real. Steph Curry, Dame, not the best defensive guards out there. They could get picked apart by some oppositions across the NBA who try to exploit those defensive matchups. It also puts a lot of pressure on Klay Thompson, who is and was an all-world defender, but he's coming off that ACL and Achilles injury. So is it going to be able to be the same defender that he was when he was playing at an all-pro level? From the Portland side of things, they'd have nightmares potentially of Steph and Dame going into their arena and dropping 40, 50-point piece nuggets every single night. And do they want to trade Dame to a rival in Golden State and see him light them up on a consistent basis as they go through somewhat of a tough rebuilding patch? For the Warriors, the window to win is right now. Steph Curry was probably the best player in the NBA coming down the stretch in the regular season. He's still playing like an MVP, and I still think he has prime years left. I'm not sure that Klay Thompson is going to be the 5-time All-Star that he was from 2015 to 2019 during all of those NBA Finals appearances. I do still think he's going to be a good player, and you factor in Draymond in the lesser role that he would take on, I think the Warriors would be a scary team. The window to win is right now, and if the Blazers say yes to this deal, let's ride. I had quite the weekend with Magic Spoon. No, I wasn't in bed with Magic Spoon, although you can eat Magic Spoon in bed. I know that didn't sound all that good, but one of my favorite parts about Magic Spoon is its variety and the fact that you can take it anywhere. I went on a hike over the weekend, put Magic Spoon cocoa into a sandwich bag. I was able to snack on it. I'm in love with the cocoa. But I'm in love with all the different flavors from Magic Spoon. Peanut butter, fruity, cocoa, frosted is also good. And I'm telling you, you should try it because it's healthy cereal that actually tastes really good. And you can get $5 off at checkout by going to magicspoon.com/warriors. It's the best deal out there right now. And some of you might say, oh, Magic Spoon's a little bit more expensive. It's not. With the $5 off using that link at the bottom of your screen, you can't go wrong with it. So that link to get $5 off is in the link is in the description, as well as the comment section of this video. Warriors aren't the only team across the NBA that can put together pretty attractive trade package for Dame. And in that article on The Athletic, it was the Sixers, Knicks, and Warriors all represented, as I mentioned. Here's what the Sixers offer would look like, and I think it's a really good one. Blazers would get Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, who played really well at times this season, and I think is going to be a stud. Matisse Thybulle, third-team all-defense, so you get Simmons, a first-team all-defensive player, and Thybulle, a third-team all-defender. And all of those guys bring you something a little bit different offensively, so there's some versatility there, as well as a future first-round pick. And then the Sixers are able to team up Joel Embiid and Damian Lillard, which would be an elite 1-2 combo. As for the Knicks offer put together by The Athletic, it's also a good one. There are going to be competitive offers out there if Dame wants to force a trade. RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Kevin Nix, a bevy of future first-round picks going to Portland in exchange for Dame. Dame at MSG, it would no doubt be lit. So when you take a look at those three trade offers from the Warriors, Sixers, and Knicks, who do you think has the best one? Who do you think has that offer that's going to get a deal done if Dame says, Portland, I'm out. Been here since 2012. We've made it to the Western Conference Finals one time. You haven't given me a bona fide number two. I want out of here. Type GSW for the Warriors, type PHI for the 76ers, type NYK for the Knicks. Who has the best offer? Anthony Slater continuing to break down this deal. He said this: I still think the Warriors would pull the trigger if it reached the final stages. You gather that type of shooting talent together in 2021, and then you solve the defensive answers with veteran free agents and buyout options, just like the Knicks did after acquiring James Harden. Then there's Lillard's side. Would he want to come to San Francisco, which isn't his hometown of Oakland anymore, and serve as a backcourt 1B to Steph Curry? My sense is no, and I don't think any trade Lillard gets past first base if he hasn't already approved the landing spot. Here's the deal with Dame. Obviously, he is very frustrated with how things have transpired in Portland. I talk about him being the first-round pick out of Weber State back in 2012. There have certainly been some incredible playoff moments. It's been Steph and Dame as the clutch bucket getters at the guard position across the NBA, who are the two most elite go-to guys at the guard spot across the NBA. And Damian Lillard has had some incredible, profound playoff performances. But at the end of the day, why is he frustrated? He is frustrated because of the lack of postseason success. He is frustrated because he hasn't been on a true contender in his career yet. He is frustrated because he hasn't had a supporting cast, and the Blazers have failed to surround him with that. He is frustrated because he does not have a ring, and it should be priority number one for Dame to get a ring. The numbers have been stupid, especially last year. Almost 29 points per game. 4.5 rebounds. This guy is an elite, efficient, excellent bucket getter. But the one thing missing from his resume is a ring. So I don't care if he's 1B next to Steph Curry. If that allows him to get a championship, to really solidify his standing as one of the best players of all time, Dame, go to Golden State. Figure out everything after the fact. And if you got to be the 1B and that means that you're still winning rings, it's all worth it at the end of the day because that puts you in a different stratosphere among some of the greats who have ever walked planet Earth. Before we head out of here, predict Damian Lillard's next team. Type B if you think it's going to be the Blazers. Type O for another team. Maybe it's the Warriors. We can only hope that comes to fruition.